Okay, our next question is, are vaccinations completely safe?
I'll go ahead and jump in, and Bryce, please feel free to jump in as well. Are vaccines completely safe? No. There are always side effects, and no medication does not have zero side effects. The vast majority of folks who do have side effects from vaccines are going to be things that we know well. Uh, Pain at the injection site, maybe a little bit of swelling, maybe a little bit of redness, fever, maybe some drowsiness for a baby, irritability. Uh, those are all pretty common. Uh, we do see sometimes, for example, in adolescents who are getting the meningococcal vaccine, a few of them will get lightheaded, after they get the vaccine, and we usually keep them for 15 minutes and keep an eye on them. The number of vaccines, though, that actually cause any significant problem is very, very small. One area that got a lot of attention for years was there used to be in multiple vaccines, there used to be a preservative called thimerosal, which was really just to keep it, like if you didn't have the refrigerator, and, just like any other preservative. It did contain small amounts of mercury. And back in 1999, the FDA said we need to stop doing that. And I believe, Bryce, you can correct me on this, but I believe the inactivated flu vaccine, the annual flu vaccine, is the only one that might have a little bit of thimerosal. The rest have all been eliminated. But again, there was never any study to link thimerosal with any neurologic issues or autism, et cetera. So the short answer is it is relatively common to get some minor local side effects, but to say that all vaccines cause no side effects whatsoever would not be true.
Yeah, Dr. Wright is absolutely correct. The only vaccine that has they call it trace amounts of thimerosal or mercury would be the inactivated influenza vaccination. And just as a quick side note for this is the type of mercury that was actually in the vaccines acting as a preservative was one that was expelled by the body very easily. It was called ethyl mercury. It's not like the environmental mercury that you would be exposed to, for instance, from coal-powered power plants that emit a lot of mercury that are in our air and our water that you're exposed to that can build up in the body over time. That particular type of mercury is not expelled by our bodies as easily.
One other side effect I should mention, but I'm going to put air quotes around this side effect that gets a lot of discussion in some of the medical literature, is around the HPV vaccine. We are still struggling to get vaccination rates up to acceptable levels with early adolescence and through teenage years. And it is low, too low in males, and it's even still a little too low in females. For those that don't know, the HPV vaccine has really been, in my lifetime, the first vaccine that you can say, this is a vaccine that prevents cancer, because it stops the subtypes of HPV that actually are linked not only to cervical cancer, but they've also in males been linked to oral and throat cancer as well. So getting this vaccine is really, really important, and it's a very effective preventive medicine technique. Here's the issue, and this is my side effect. There are still some out there that are concerned that giving this vaccine will increase sexual promiscuity amongst adolescents, that they have this vaccine on board, and so it will change their sexual behavior. There's been no study to show or confirm that, and I think that that's an unrealistic fear that you are potentially denying a life-saving. And I know people personally who have had and died from these cancers that their lives would have been saved had they had the vaccination as kids.